It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Check it out, Read It and Weep. Brand new award awarded by DDEM, voted for by the public for you, saying that we are your favorite breakfast show in South Africa. Yes, we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. And so we welcome you right now to our Wednesday edition, our Wednesday feature of the new feature that we have, or the Wednesday feature of...
brought to you every Wednesday.
Brought to you every Wednesday with this new guy who's just been on our couch for like the past couple of weeks. It's called So What Now? You know what we're talking about. It's the more unconventional side of the law, and we take a look at some interesting topics. And today we talk about the fact that we want to protect the rights and materials that are created by artists out there, how to go about doing that, and to offer his expert opinion from Legalese director Eitan Stern joins us.
Starting a band, baby.
We're starting a band.
Good morning.
You guys look like you were doing that a bit earlier.
Yeah, man, I felt the vibe. I'm like the least musical person on the planet, but I can dream. I can dream. And that's what it's about. Starting a band is often a very passionate, emotional journey that's creating is very passionate, emotional, not very legal, and you're creating a commercial entity.
Yeah.
Is it, I'm going to ask this question on behalf of a lot of young people, a lot of people wanting to start bands or create in that space.
Sure.
Is professional representation, i.e. getting a record label, the best way to do it? Or have we left that behind us in this YouTube space?
We're digging straight in there.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I mean, what's the vibe here?
What's the vibe here? Okay, so... sure.
Loaded question.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I would say the most important thing when you're starting a band is firstly the music. You know, it needs to be be good. A lot of music out there, not all of it's good. So that's the first thing. And after that, there's a lot of legal aspects to it, because what you are doing is you're creating something which in today's world is given a lot of value. Yeah. You know, take Ed Sheeran. You know, I looked the other day, he has 4 billion views on his...
He's going to be a billionaire by 30, they reckon.
I'm sure
Isn't he already?
Yeah, no, he's knocking on that
door.
door.
So the stuff can be very, very valuable. So there's a lot of legal issues that go into it, you know, protecting your music, when you're working with others, etc.
Yeah.
To answer your question about the labels, so what is a label's job? A label's job is there to help musicians take their music, to create it and put it out there into the world. Yeah. And that used to be a very, very complex and, you know, high-valued thing that someone could do, because it wasn't always easy to put your music out there. The way the music industry's changed, and we literally are in that era that we're seeing it now, is that it is easier to put your music out there than ever before. Yeah. You've got overnight successes. You know, Justin Bieber was found off YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you've got overnight successes, you've got social media, you've got platforms like Spotify or Deezer where you can put your music out there and have people hear it. So suddenly the game has changed a bit. That you might not necessarily need a label in order to put your music out, which is great.
And as quickly and easy as it is to put your music out there, you want to take a step back, because this creativity and the creation of music happens very fluidly. So you might be sitting down somewhere, somebody has a guitar, they play a few chords, and boom, the idea sparks, and you've got a song that might be very, very successful in the future. But before stepping into a studio and recording that and actually making the product, what are some of the key things to get out of the way legally to make sure that
you guys have
everyone,
contracts in place before
everyone
you
is
start
protected?
So there's a couple of things there. Firstly, you know, music and law were never supposed to be friends. You know, music is very fluid. It's a creative process, while law has these very kind of strict lines. You need to make rules. So to answer the question, firstly, like if you are a couple of friends playing music, you know, you shouldn't let the legal aspects to it stop you from creating. And if you're doing that, like in saying, look, I don't want to make music with you because we don't have a contract, probably not the right place to be. But if you are a professional musician and that's what you do for a living, that's how you bring money in and pay for food, then you do need to start thinking about these things. And if you're going into a studio to record something, or if you are, for example, a young producer or any producer and you're giving beats to a musician, a rapper, a singer, to create songs from, make sure that you have something down on paper to say, look, I'm giving you this. If you use it, I own part of it, or you need to pay me for it. And if you don't have that, so if you're looking to make money for it and you don't have anything on paper, then you're looking for trouble somewhere down the line.
Then you're saying, so now what?
Then he's saying, so now what? And then you land up phoning Legalese and we say, I don't know.
All right, we'll continue our second part of the discussion. Very, very cool stuff with Eitan Stern. Stay tuned.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
as we continue our legal discussion over the rights of creatives out there. If you're creating art, making music with someone out there, who owns it? And that's the very first question that I want to ask right now. Because yes, you did say before stepping into a studio, before collaborating with somebody creatively, have it on contract, have it on paper that this is the arrangement we have. But if you don't have that,
Yes.
principally, who owns what? Let's say we write a song together. Who owns the song? Who
The
owns
lead
which part
singer
of
of the
it?
band, surely. He's the boss, yeah.
Great question. Okay, so the way it works, so it's going to differ country to country. In South African law, the way it works is that when you create a musical work, a song, you write a melody, you write a song, the person who creates it is the copyright holder, and that's automatic. You don't have to register it, you don't have to tell anyone. If you create a song, you own it. But and that's important for us to also know when people are creating songs alone. But if you're creating a song with another person, what's the percentage ownership that you have? And the reality is that there are no hard and fast rules here. There's some industry standards, there's some things that people like to rely on, but there are actually no rules. And so the only way you can know is by having an agreement with the person, by saying, look, we wrote the song half-half, or you were the songwriter and I was just the drummer. Oh, not just the drummer, sorry to drummers out there. You know, and that can be your arrangement with the people you're writing songs with. And every band is going to have it but differently. The way that I think it works quite well, and it's actually a way that the band U2 are very famous for doing, is that they split everything equally. The four guys in the band split all of their songwriting equally, even though, you know, Bono, the singer,
It's very much the brand.
Is very much the brand, but he's only able to be the brand because he's backed up by great musicians.
And that incentivizes the rest of the band members, I think, as well, to just, if they're not already equally invested, but just to stay in that way.
When does a good song start? It might start with a beat. It might start with a riff.
100%. And what I can tell you is that the thing which is a surefire way to break up a band is by fighting over ownership of royalties.
So
and the reality is most of the time
yeah.
you're fighting over percentages of songs which are not going to make too much money, because that's not really how the music industry works today anymore. So
The money's in the shows.
money's in the shows, exactly.
So that brings to bear the question around live performances. Does that change, and especially in this area, you know, where people are recording things or whatever, can you get into trouble for recording a live performance and posting that online, first of all?
Okay, so there's quite a big difference, or industry difference, between, say, performing a song, a cover song, someone else's song, and recording it. And generally, I suppose while there could be copyright issues with performing it, generally it's pretty accepted. Where it does become an issue is where you are recording and releasing someone else's song. So if you enjoy a song, you know, and you want to make your own version of it, no problem if you want to sing it in the shower or do it in live shows, but it becomes an issue and you need permission if you're going to release that song.
Yeah,
And what's
yeah.
very important for people to remember is that, and for any musicians out there, when you are releasing music, there are two sets of rights that you have to look out for. The one is your master rights, the rights of the actual recording, and then you've got what's called the publishing rights, performance rights. And those are the rights of whoever wrote that song. So if you were the songwriter, you know, no matter how far down the line you're going to look at, no matter how many people who you've given permission to re-record your song, you're always going to be the owner of that, and you are going to be earning in each person. You're going to get a slice of the pie at each one.
So if I've created a song
Yes.
and there's some TV producer or film
Okay.
producer who wants to use my music in,
Yes.
in a TV show, a film, a
My
commercial.
feel-good
The Lion King, yeah, the Lion King.
The Lion King,
Yeah.
ooh, that
come
one
on,
is very dodgy. Yes. What would you say? What's the process to follow there?
Okay, so, you know, when you've created a song, it's a thing of value like anything else, and if you're going to be letting people use it, then you need to have some sort of an agreement for what you get in return. So it's really no different from renting out anything, like renting out your car or your house or something. When you rent out your house, you allow someone to stay in there in exchange for money. So no different with a song. If you allow someone to use your song, your property, then you need to get some value back. So it's always just an agreement that you have with them. So that, you know, if a TV producer or a movie producer or an advert comes to you and says, can I use your song? Then what are you going to get out of it? What are the terms? How long can they use it for? What can they use it for? What do you get paid? What happens if they what happens if they want to renew, etc. That's called a license.
Always ask for shares in the company in return.
Yeah, man.
A la
Follow
Beyonce
Jack
style.
Nicholson's A Route with the Batman saga, still getting paid. So if you can go to legalese.co.za if you've got more questions like that. Also check out Samro. I know Luis Obalo and the guys are doing a huge amount to help protect musicians' rights, songs that you own. It's your creative process. It's your little baby.
Blood, sweat and tears,
Yeah,
man.
it's your blood, sweat and tears. So make sure that you protect yourself, but that starts by educating yourself.
That really brought that point back on his blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah, it is, man. Says the guy who's never created a song ever in his life.